few people watching. Quite an intense situation, really. But yeah, no, it's good. It definitely it felt good to play in it. It felt good to play in kind of that kind of a challenging situation. But yeah, it's gonna take a bit of getting used to.
Yeah, and I guess obviously coming straight into it and getting put into the promotion series must be quite intense. Obviously, not playing any of the UKEL and then kind of getting put in last minute to play against, some of the UKLC teams. I can see where you're coming from in terms of it maybe seeming a bit intimidating, but you performed well. All being considered, it was a 2-1 win to Bulldog. It seemed like you performed well. Run me through kind of maybe your emotions kind of after each of the game within the series and how you felt.
Yeah, well, obviously, first game going into it, I was like super nervous. I was like, my hands were like clammy. I was like, okay, I just need to calm down. We've been playing scrims against teams of like a similar, if not better level. We're doing like fine. We're doing well into them. We prepared for this. It's all fine. It kind of just kind of goes out your head. But obviously the first game goes super well. It kind of
Yeah.
like basically goes all to plan. It's really clean from us, and we completely just win it out. And obviously from that first game, you're still a bit nervous about the whole thing because you're like, they're still a good team. They're still going to be a second, and then if you lose out a third game, but obviously you're on kind of like a bit of a, we can do this now. It's like as much as
Yeah.
you can do it before, this is like proof that you fully can. So you kind of come out of that first one with this really like, oh yeah, this is really us. We're showing up here. This is good. Still a bit nervous, and then going into the second one, obviously you've got a bit more confidence, but it sucked to lose there, especially when we had the kind of lead that we did. We're in that kind of good situation. So you're a bit frustrated about it, obviously, because it's kind of a game where you're like, if we'd played better there, if we'd just done everything that we needed to do, we would be out of it. It would have been a swift 2-0, would have
Yeah.
been really good for us. And so you're kind of a bit frustrated, but you're there like, okay, just it's really like about just kind of resetting your mental after that one, and just trying to make sure that you ignore that game and you just play your next one. You play that, and then the third one. By that point, most of the nerves were luckily gone. Um, But as I said, like a very difficult game. Starts off really hard, and you're
Yeah.
kind of sitting there, and there was I think the comms of the team was like, "What can we do here?" And it was like, no one kind of knew, but we really managed to like just play for everything we can, which is a testament to like how good the team is. That I'm able to just come in, join a situation like that, and they kind of know what they're doing anyway.
Yeah, and it seems interesting, kind of the dynamic of how it went. Like you say, that first game was totally in favor of Viperio. The second game, it seemed like you guys fell at the last hurdle, and then the third game, like you kind of touched on, it seemed like from the beginning with their kind of, I believe, again, I'm not super knowledgeable about League of Legends compared to you. Obviously, that play into the jungle kind of hindering Johnny in his kind of development as a champion seemed from the get go it was kind of a bit of a GG. But you guys brought it back and made it a really close game.
Yeah,
And I think that's something to take into the next series. Obviously, it's a double elim, I think. So you've got another game coming up.
yeah, we can
Um,
still make it.
yeah. So what your emotions going into that? Obviously, you've got one more game left. Obviously, now to get promoted, you've got to win both games back to back.
Yeah.
Bit more difficult. Yeah. What do you think?
Um, Obviously, like games as close as that, as much as we did lose, it's not just like a complete stomp. It's not just us completely taken out of it with not a hope. It is very much so close games for the last two there, where if something goes differently, if one of us plays a bit better, there's definitely things that I could have done better as a player that can probably like change those games around, basically. And so for the next games, it's just, I mean, the thing that I think I'm going to focus on, and I expect the rest of the team to focus on, is that we are still a good team. Like we shouldn't take that as like a knock of confidence, because that is really like a
Yeah.
game that could have gone either ways. Like I think we played really well there, and I'm really happy with how the team played. But I think for now we're just gonna have to review it. We're gonna have to look over what we did, what exactly, try and basically identify what went wrong, and just try and improve on that, because I mean, how we played there, depending on how the other teams play, we could play the exact same game and we could then just win and do a lot better. But obviously, if we can improve our game, then we should be. I think it's definitely possible for us to basically just win the next two
Yeah.
and still actually get promoted. It's just a matter of it's a matter of just staying on track, basically.
Yeah, and I think you're right in the sense of like obviously that going into it, you've got a lot to learn from that game. It was a totally, it was a new kind of ecosystem to you. Obviously, like you say, you maybe you're not used to that. obviously, touching on your background, you've come from a university league where I believe Cabbage family are in the Neil finals on Wednesday, is it?
Yeah, Wednesday.
Yeah. So obviously, I love how you've got that side of it going on as well, and obviously, good practice before the next game. How do you guys feel about the Neil side of things, actually?
Well, for me and my uni team, it's like our, I think it's second year playing together, just over 2 years now.
Wow.
And for us, it's all of us are in third year. It's all of our kind of last chances of that. So we've been playing non-stop. Like it's been quite hard for me to balance basically life around League of Legends at the moment. I've been playing basically
Yeah.
every day for the past 2 weeks just to prepare for everything. But no, I love my university team. Obviously, I'm really good friends with everyone on it. And we're in the finals. Hopefully, hopefully we can do it all. This final year would be like a great way for us to go out. Just final year, you win everything, and
Yeah.
that'd be a really amazing way for basically everything to happen for us. So we're just
And
praying
then
for the best there.
yeah, and then the UKLC promotion is the cherry on top there, right?
Yeah, that would be, in a dream world, I win with my uni team on Wednesday, and then also come in on Thursday for Viperio and just
Yeah.
completely destroy the opponents there. So it's obviously, I'm praying, I'm dreaming for a swift win on both days, but we'll have to see how it goes.
Yeah, I mean, looking at your performance today, I was impressed. Seemed like
Thank
the
you,
the Twitch chat were impressed with some of the highlights as well. So I wish you the best of luck on both Wednesday and Thursday. I'm sure we'll speak to
thank
you
you.
again at some point coming into it. But yeah, look,
Mhm.
we'll let you shoot off. We'll talk to Hass, who's coming up in a second, and yeah, we'll speak to you soon.
Okay, thank you very much for having me.
No, no problem. All right, look, good luck on Wednesday, and we'll see you hopefully after the game on Thursday. All right,
Thanks. Bye.
bye bye. Bye.
I'll be there when the night falls down. I'll be there when the day comes out. I'll be there for you. I'll be there for you. I'll be there when the night falls down. I'll be there when the day comes out. I'll be there for you. I'll be there for you. I know it's hard for you. I'll be there when the night falls down. I'll be there when the day comes out. I'll be there for you. I'll be there for you. I know it's hard for you. I'll be there for you. I'll be there for you. I know when the night falls down. I'll be there when the day comes out. I'll be there for you. I'll be there for you. I know it's hard for you. I'll be there for you. I'll be there for you. I know I'll be there when the night falls down. I'll be there when the day comes out. I'll be there for you. I'll be there for you.
Yeah,
Hello, and we are back. This time we are joined with Hass. How are you doing today, my friend?
I'm doing pretty good, but better now than half an hour ago.
Yeah, half an hour ago, run me through your emotions. Like we were just talking with your teammate Gregors there. Obviously, it's a bit bitter coming out of that 2-1 defeat to Bulldog. How does it feel? Run me through your kind of synopsis of events and let me know kind of what you think.
I felt pretty sad about us losing, of course, but like I felt like we put up a good fight and we had a good showing, and I didn't really follow the broadcast and I haven't had time to watch it now. But like I heard them talking about how they deemed us as the better team, which I of course found. I put some pride in that in some sense. Like I appreciate hearing like some other players like commenting, like, and someone outside the staff saying that they think we're doing well, even though we might lose the games. So like they see the
Yeah.
potential at least.
And obviously, looking at the kind of the first game, pretty much of a stomp. It seemed like it was all engines go from you guys. The second game seemed to fall at the end there. It seemed like it was close. It was going for the 2-0. What do you think went wrong?
I don't really know. I haven't had the time to look it through, as I just said,
Yeah.
but like it's hard. Like it seemed to be the same thing that happened when we played against Lucent in last week, where it's where we get off to a good start and have a good lead, and then we might get a little bit complacent, I think. So we might not we might have the proper setup for the thing we're gonna fight about, or we're gonna go for, and then we think we're fine, and then we like have one small thing that goes wrong, and then it kind of crumbles in some sense, and it seems to be like a recurring theme a little bit. So we gotta work on that.
Yeah, and I guess like we were talking to Gregors about, it's about that mental drive, right? And like he was touching on, there's a lot to learn from that VOD. I'm sure the staff behind the scenes are gonna watch that a million times over and see what maybe did go wrong going into this next game. Would Honestly, couldn't really talk to this about Gregors due to him coming in last minute. What are you kind of feeling going into this kind of next game? Who would you rather play? What matchups would you rather see?
I don't really mind either matchup. Like Demise seems to have been falling somewhat apart throughout the UK-LC split, and I haven't played them or watched any of their games, so I don't really know anything about them except for their record. But like Lucent, we have already shown that we can beat them. Like we beat them regularly in the splits, 2-0 as well, and then in the first round of the playoffs, and then we just lost to them second time we met them. So I feel like we have shown that we can beat Lucent, even though they beat us like the latest match we played. So I don't really mind either matchup. I think we're like the thing we got to focus on is our own mistakes and our own play. So and we're gonna win through that.
And then if we kind of focus in a little bit more and kind of look at your performance specifically, then how do you think you performed in this series today?
I'm never really satisfied about my own performance, and I think if you're going to talk to any of the coaches, they're going to say that as well. I'm very critical about my own gameplay because I think I need to be. So I wouldn't like rate my performance highly. I think I did some things well, but there's always room for improvement in. Frankly, to be honest, like a lot of areas where I think like I could do better, like where I can set up better roam timers or whatever.
And kind of going in then swiftly into the idea of this promotion tournament, and kind of going on to next season. Where do you see yourself in a few seasons? Obviously, you're so close to this UKLC kind of promotion right now, but then at the same time, just like game 2, you could fall kind of at the end of the hurdle and maybe end up staying in the UKEL. What's your kind of aims as a competitive player, and where do you want to be in the next kind of few years?
Well, it honestly depends on how like what offers you get, of course. Even though I enjoy my time very much here in Viperio and the back end stuff because we're having a really good time and we're like have a very good focus on improving, which I feel is very useful for
Yeah.
the individual players. It's all about what offers you get and what opportunities you have because you don't have like unlimited time in this area. Like you gotta, as in traditional sports, you gotta use the time you have to make the most out of it. So if I get an offer to play in the UK LC, even though we don't promote on this team, I would of course also take that as it is it suits my interest the best. Like I
Yeah,
would
of
like
course.
I would always look out for my own interest in this scenario. But like if I don't get a better opportunity, I would for sure stay on Viperio.
Yeah, and like it's been great having you on here, and I would love to see you succeed, and whether that is somewhere else getting promoted. But let's hope. The game's coming up on Thursday. We've got a few days to prepare. Yeah, I'm excited. What do you think is going to happen if I was to kind of put you on the hot seat and get a prediction out of you, something written down in stone?
Written down in stone. I don't really know. Like I feel like we have a good chance. Like I feel confident in us winning the next series, and then we'll see what happens from there. I am in no doubt that we are capable of winning it, and we just gotta
Yeah.
put in the effort, and we're gonna get there. Like we're gonna get there for sure. So I feel like
Well,
we could
look,
go we could go 2-0 if you want a specific prediction, but I'm not sure about that.
Well, look, I love the confidence and I love the drive from you, and it's been a pleasure speaking to you kind of on the All Access and off the stream as well. I'm sure regardless of what happens, you'll succeed. But look, we'll wrap that up for now. You've got a lot to do, I imagine, going into this game on Thursday. Is there anything else you want to maybe touch on before we wrap things up?
Nothing in particular, Brodie. If anything, I might want to shout out the esports lawyer, but that might be the only thing.
Oh, well, yeah, that's another thing. I know players are kind of switching around right now, so I am running a little freelance service. If you want to check it out, it's at the eSport Lawyer. But yeah, thank you for the plug there, Hasse. But look,
For sure.
we'll speak to you after Thursday, and we'll go from there, buddy. Okay.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
All the best.